Fellas, today I'm going to be starting with the 100 USD account and taking it to over 600 USD during the course of this video using Jump 50 index and VIX 25 index. So keep watching to learn how you can flip your own account as well. Okay, so the account actually started from a 40 USD account. I quickly grew it to 100 USD, but I forgot to record the trade. So we just, move on. I'm starting it from 100 USD. Now, we start the analysis on a weekly time frame, and in the weekly time frame, we can see market is sort of building this beautiful reversal. So the reversal consists of a BOS below that low. And then after price break structure below the low, we first see our change of character, and then market drops down to respect the weekly bullish order block. After that, it shoots up to break structure or confirm the reversal. So we can start sort of finding a place to buy. We could have bought at the rejection block and then just kept it from the rejection block and move up. So market ended up going to that rejection block, so it went from a rejection block to a rejection block, isn't it? Now it's bouncing in between that, but it might keep on dropping down or continue shooting up. Now on the daily, we see price did a raid or a stop hunt below the low, and while it was doing that stop hunt, it respected it's reacting off of the daily bullish order block right now, and specifically on the daily bullish order block, it's respecting the rejection block. So you can sort of see consistencies in terms of like price reacting off of the rejection block on jump 50s. So price is targeting the buy side liquidity above that high. That's where I think price is to shoot up to, but of course we won't be buying up to there. We just want to find a quick sort of buy or a sell within that range. Now inside the 4 hour, we see the price did a wipe when it reacted off of the rejection, and then it confirmed by breaking structure above that small high. Now when price went up, it created equal highs above there, which contained buy side liquidity, of course, and then it returned back down to raid the low within that range. After it raid the low, it filled this fair value gap below that low, and then after it filled the fair value gap, it took sort of the price till it broke structure above that high. Now above that high, you can see price closed above it. Now as soon as it closed, it returned back inside the range, respected something inside that range, and then continued moving up. Now we have to see what it respected within that range, which is the 1 hour order block. So after price reacted off the 1 hour order block, you can tell it just launched. It continued to launch and it did not return back down there. Now I think you can see clearly. Okay, let me just say price broke structure above that high, and after price broke structure, it created sort of a fair value gap or an expansion, and it returned back and filled the fair value gap while it hit the mitigation block, and from there it continued launching up as well. So we want to sort of you see price broke structure, we want to sort of find a place where price returns back in, and then we continue moving up with it. So price is currently raiding that high, and it's almost sort of it's penetrating the imbalance right above those equal highs. And now you can see the obvious 4 hour order block where you can clearly take a buy, and that's where I just decided, like, I think this is the most obvious place to buy at. If we can sort of zoom in, you can tell, yes, there's the 30-minute breaker block and all that sorts, but at the 4 hour OB is a place where I was confident in buying at. So I started placing my buy limits at that 4 hour order block, and then you see what happens afterwards. Here I entered not really aggressive. It was aggressive enough to double the account or triple it maybe. So let's wait for afterwards. Now afterwards, you can see price did not activate all of our buy orders. Yeah, it activated 7 of them, but then it could not activate all of them. I think the trade was so accurate it just missed it. And with the way Deriv has tight spreads, I was disappointed in why it did not just, you know, dip a bit down and just activate all of my buy orders. But yeah, we were fortunate enough to be in some good profit. Price went from my buy level and then it went above that high, so we're in some good profits. I decided to close there, so we will have to wait for the next trade, which is VIX 25 index. Continuing with VIX 25 index, we still have our balance at 231 USD. So we start off from the daily. I want to bring your attention to the left side of the chart where there's that daily bearish order block. So if I stretch it out, you can see that price respected it cleanly. It was a nice tap and then it dropped down. So before it tapped the daily order block, it did a stop hunt. So it grabbed liquidity above that high and then it did a change of character below that low, like it gave us a BOS below that low. So right at that zone, it's sort of sensitive. So price went back inside, tried to fill the fair value gap, and then it continued moving down. It continued moving down, and you can tell it broke structure below that immediate low, and it took a while for price to, you know, return back to our current sort of level or zone. And that level right now, I can tell you, it's sort of sensitive, it's powerful, so price has to drop from there. So we can see that price did a break of structure above those two highs are sort of equal, and then it filled the fair value gap above it. It's not that huge, but yeah, it's also significant in some way. So yes, price inside, it did a BOS again if we zoom in closely, and then now it filled the fair value gap, while at the same time, that's the fair value gap on the weekly, mind you. So at the same time, after it filled the fair value gap on the weekly, it hit the main daily bearish order block. That's the one I want you to concentrate on. That's why I said main. So if I stretch out the body of the daily order block, you can see price right now, it just tapped it. Of course, it tapped it, and we want to sort of sell from that level there. So how do we sell, and why are we selling from that zone? So if we move on to our 4-hour chart, I want you to see that price did a stop hunt above that high, and after price does a stop hunt, it's of course going to build sort of a market structure so that it continues to dip down. So that's based on the basis of the daily chart and the 4-hour chart. Now if I zoom in on the 30-minute chart, we see price did a stop hunt just like on the 4-hour, and after it did a stop hunt, it respected that 30-minute order block within the range, and of course it gave us our confirmation by breaking structure below the low, and then it also continued dropping down and broke structure below that, should I say, main low, and we expect price to return back into the range, and then we sell with it till maybe that sell side liquidity. Now when it was dropping down, price created a fair value gap, and we want for price to return back and fill it while it hit the 1-hour order block. Now what's interesting right at that level is that at the 1-hour order block, there is also the 1-hour mitigation block. So there's sort of two confluences there, and it's an interesting level because it's going to be super sensitive right there, and you want to sell at that level. So on the 15-minute, you can see there's also another confluence of the 15-minute order block right at that level, and yeah, it just stacks up our confidence, making us know that we have to sell right at that level or zone right there. So when you move on to the 5-minute chart, we can see there's that sort of internal buy side liquidity above that high, and why I want you to like concentrate on it is because there's a fair value gap right above it. So after price goes up there, fills the fair value gap, it's of course going to drop down. So there's price will respect it there because there's also the 5-minute order block. So there's generated interest to that should I say, yes, that level, and then when it reaches that level, taps the 5-minute OB, it's going to drop immediately. And immediately, while after I saw this analysis, I started analyzing, and then I placed my sell limits right at the 5-minute OB, and I went in a bit, should I say, extreme, but it was good enough for a 200 USD account. So you see what happens afterwards. So this is afterwards. You can see that price here clearly respected us. Like, this was a nice, beautiful sniper entry, and this is after maybe some, I don't know, few hours, and it still had to continue dropping down. But you can see that price here, it respected us nicely. We had zoomed in from top down, and then we just nicely navigated it and pinpointed it down to like the 5-minute chart, and it paid off nicely. So around this time, we're in around 180 something USD profit, and then not long afterwards, price dropped down afterwards, and right around this time we're around 400 USD in profit. So which placed us at 600 USD, and this was a good amount of profit, considering that we started from 40 USD. Remember that I told you guys we started from a 40 USD, and then I grew the account to 100, and I could not manage to record the initial trade. But yeah, this is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, or see you guys on the next video.